Sheikha Hind Al Maktoum is the most mysterious wife of Dubai's ruler, one of the wealthiest men in the world. Sheikh Mohammed had 6 wives. Some left him and he sent others away. But Hind has been with him for nearly 50 years and has 12 children. Is she happy? Why was their wedding in the Guinness World Records? Did she plot against his other wives? Like and subscribe to our channel. Let's begin. Hind Al Maktoum is the First Lady of Dubai and the mother of Crown Prince Sheikh Hamdan. She was born on February 12, 1962, and is part of Dubai's ruling Al Maktoum family. Her mother, Sheikha, was the daughter of Dubai's ruler, Saeed II. Hind grew up in the palace, following Islamic traditions and rarely leaving her home. It seemed like fate was preparing her for a particular role. Hind and Sheikh Mohammed have known each other since childhood because they were related. She was his maternal cousin and paternal second cousin. A big event in her life happened in 1979 when she was 17. Hind's and Mohammed's parents decided that they should get married. At that time, Sheikh Mohammed was 30 years old. He was the head of Dubai's police and the defense minister. Before marrying Hind, Sheikh Mohammed enjoyed being a bachelor. 2 years before he got engaged to Hind, Sheikh Mohammed had a daughter named Manal and a Lebanese woman named Randa. Despite his earlier bachelor life, he agreed to marry Hind, and their parents arranged their union. Hind's upbringing and the close ties between their families made their marriage a significant event. She has lived mainly within the palace walls, preparing for her important role. Her marriage to Sheikh Mohammed brought her into the spotlight, and she has been an essential figure in Dubai ever since. Mohammed's family was tired of his love affairs and wanted to show the world he had settled down. So they planned his wedding to Hind Al Maktoum on a grand scale. This wedding was not only a family celebration, but also had political meanings. At that time, the Emirates earned much money from selling oil. They wanted to show the world how modern and advanced they were becoming. Mohammed and Hind's wedding was the first big public event in Dubai. The celebrations took place near the royal palace of Zabil. The wedding was organized in a way that had never been seen before. It was very lavish, which means it was very fancy and expensive. The goal was to ensure everyone knew that Sheikh Mohammed was now a settled man. For Hind and Mohammed's wedding, the large, sandy area in front of the palace was cleared and fenced. Lighting poles were set up and decorated. A particular stadium with 20,000 seats was even built just for the wedding. Only important VIPs were allowed in the stadium, but hundreds of thousands of regular people watched from outside in the open air. It was the only way they could see the fantastic ceremony, which had never happened before in the Emirates. A procession of 20 unique camels brought gifts from Mohammed and other essential guests to Hind. The gifts included fancy clothes with rubies and diamonds, jewelry, old dishes, carpets, and even luxury cars. For 5 days, everyone living in Dubai received free food and entertainment, making the wedding even more special. For the first time in Dubai's history, a big air show was held in the sky. It was an incredible sight and made the event unforgettable. At the wedding, guests saw camel races where Mohammed Al Maktoum won and laid the gold cup he won at Hind's feet. The aristocrats were amazed by the luxury of the ceremony, which cost $137 million, making it the most expensive wedding in history and earning a place in the Guinness Book of Records. No woman has ever had such an expensive wedding before. Despite all the luxury, 17-year-old Hind was not fazed. After the celebration, she devoted herself to family life. Over the next 2 decades, she had 12 children, almost one every year, which was terrific. Hind also raised several foster boys and girls adopted from orphanages. Some of these children were from Mohammed's other wives, but Hind loved and treated them all equally. Her first child, a girl named Hessa, was born a year after the wedding. The next year, she gave birth to Rashid, who was to be the next ruler of Dubai. Hind put all her love and care into raising Rashid, and he grew up to be a wise and strong man. Sadly, at the age of 33, Rashid, who was a brilliant athlete and heir to the throne, died of a heart attack, which was a great loss. Hind was deeply saddened by Rashid's death, but she knew she had to stay vital for her other children. She still had to raise and prepare them for adulthood. Hind faced many challenges in her life. Her husband, Mohammed, had many wives over the years, often having 3 or 4 at a time. These wives would change, especially if they had arguments with him. When this happened, Mohammed would end the relationship and keep the children. Hind saw all this but accepted it calmly because she was raised with strict Muslim traditions. According to these traditions, Hind always wore a mask called a burqa over her face. This mask, made of metallic-colored cloth, is worn by Arab women in the Gulf countries. Despite her husband's many relationships, Hind remained dedicated to her family. She took care of all the children, whether they were her own or from Muhammad's other wives. Her upbringing taught her to be patient and humble. Hind's strength and dedication to her family were clear in everything she did. She always stayed true to her traditions and values, supporting her family through every challenge they faced. The word burqa is like burqa, but it only covers part of the face and is a symbol of femininity. It used to be worn daily by Arab women, but now is mostly seen by older women. In 2004, Hind faced a tough time when Sheikh Mohammed married Princess Hiya from Jordan. Hiya was 12 years younger, wonderful, active, and ambitious. Unlike Hind, Hiya attended events with Mohammed, gave interviews, and was very public. However, their marriage ended badly. After 15 years, Hiya left the palace with her 2 children and sued Mohammed in London, winning $730 million. It made their divorce the most expensive in the world. Ironically, Mohammed set 2 world records with his marriages. He spent a considerable amount on his wedding to Hind and had to pay even more in his divorce from Hiya. He doesn't regret it either, as both wives gave him more than money. Hind has done a great job raising Mohammed's children. Crown Prince Hamdan is now helping develop the Emirates and preparing to become the ruler of Dubai. 7 of their sons work in public administration, business, and science, while almost all their daughters are married and raising children. Now over 60, Hind helps her husband run the emirate and is active in charity work. She supports Arab women in government and oversees social issues. Despite her achievements, she remains humble and doesn't seek public recognition. Some say that the photos we see are not of Hind, but of Mama Noura, the nanny who helped raise Sheikh Mohammed's children. They believe there are only a few photos of Hind, all from when she was young. The First Lady of Dubai, Hind, is highly respected and loved by the people. For local women, Hind is a role model of the good qualities a true Muslim woman should have. She has shared joy and sorrow with her husband and stayed with him through all his actions and many love affairs. What do you think about this story? Write in the comments, subscribe to the channel, and press the bell icon. Like this video, and see you soon.